Is this person good for your mental health, or are they an energy vampire in disguise?
You're sucking all the energy out of the room.
Here are 7 signs someone is medicine for your soul. Hey survivors! It can be really tricky deciding if someone's good for your mental health or not. A lot of times as someone with chronic illness, we just take kind of whoever sticks around. But considering how much it actually does affect our health, I'd say it's worth it to pick out the good eggs.
If it's a good egg, it's shined up and shipped out all over the world. But if it's a bad egg...
So here are my 7 signs whether or not someone is good for your mental health. So the first one seems simple, but a lot of us have a really hard time learning it. And that is being able to talk to this person without a fear of being judged. If you're constantly having to censor or be very cautious and walk on eggshells with what you're going to say, that person isn't very helpful to you. In fact, it means they're constantly judgmental to the point of making you paranoid. Big red flag. But when you have that person that you can talk to without any fear of judgment, that you know you can say anything to and not worry about it being used against you later or said behind your back, that person is worth their weight in gold. And you can tell they're a really good friend. Number 2. Feeling energized after you talk to said person. Now, I actually have a couple of these friends that have stuck around. There's one especially where I can feel so terrible before I talk to them, and I will force myself to get up the energy to talk to them, and afterwards I feel so energized, and I couldn't tell you why.
The power of friendship is so amazing!
A big part of that is just the fact that they are good for your soul. They're just one of those people that energizes you. They share their energy instead of taking it away. Third sign someone's good for your mental health. This person will make themselves available to you and, big and, actually mean it when they offer to help.
Let me help you, pal.
They're not the type that'll flake out or just say it to be nice, which is really, really common here in Minnesota, don't you know? People love to offer the moon and then they get offended or upset when you actually take them up on it because they're just doing it to seem nice. Minnesota not so nice, we kind of call it here.
Everybody thinks you're so nice. You're not so nice.
But if you can find a friend, like they might offer to take you to a doctor appointment, they might offer to help clean something in your house, and if you ever do take them up on it, they actually come through and are happy to help. These are people that are super good to have around. And this comes without a price tag, by the way. They'll come to help for nothing in return. Now granted, they might want you to buy a pizza or something and you guys can have lunch together and talk. That's very different than actually needing something in return in order to do it. And if you've seen someone in a group or a friend that you know is having a hard time finding non-toxic people, maybe share this with them. It would help me out, and it might help them out too. Positive person aspect number 4. They respect your boundaries and limitations. Now, one thing I've noticed with my positive friends versus my toxic friends over the years is that the positive friends will work with my boundaries. As I could do less and less, they'd come up with ideas and ways to help me through it. They want to go to a museum or something with me, they look into whether there's a wheelchair service and an access for me, versus the toxic person who would just guilt you for not doing what they want you to do. Respect for your boundaries and your limitations, extremely important. Healthy friend sign number 5. They are honest and they actually admit when they've made a mistake. Now this might seem a little weird. Why would they have to admit when they make mistakes? Well, the thing is, when someone owns up to that shows a lot about their character. The toxic person will blame you, or if they ever do admit fault, they'll still find a way to make it your fault. Well, yeah, I did this, but you made me.
Look what you made me do.
That's toxic. Versus the person who owns up, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I forgot to consider your limitation. It just slipped my mind. I am so sorry, it won't happen again. 100% different, shows you that they're a good person on the inside. They know how to own up when they've done something wrong. They know how to apologize, and most likely they will learn from the mistake, versus the toxic person puts the blame on anyone else but themselves and doesn't learn from it. Number 6, they don't hold you back or try to control you in any way. Now, a lot of people with chronic illness deal with this with their parents or their spouses, I've noticed. These people will try and hold them back. They'll try to control them. They'll try and tell them they can't do things, they can do things, make them feel guilty constantly about things they need to do because they don't want to help them do it, like go to doctor's appointments, etc., etc. That's very toxic. But when someone always goes by what you say, some of us aren't even used to this. I know I wasn't used to it when I first got some healthy friends, and I would always be like, well, what do you want to do? Well, da-da-da. Even though I had all these limitations, they would be like, no, Rachel, what do you want to do? What can you do? Give us a list of options here. Let us know. We want to help you so we can all have fun. This was really foreign to me at the time because I had been through some things. So this is extremely important to look for in someone who is not toxic and is actually good for your mental health. Having someone that won't try to control you, manipulate you, anything like that is extremely important and a really good sign that you found someone worth having as a friend and worth having in your life, worth your energy. By the way, if you want to give me a little bit of positivity, maybe hit that like and subscribe button down there, just click subscribe and notifications for more videos in the future. Last but not least, the final sign someone is good for your mental health and is a positive person to have in your life. They actually listen, care, and ask questions because they want to know more about you. And this is ongoing. This isn't just when you first meet. This is years down the line you can be friends. I've had a friend who I've been friends with for, I think, 13 years? I'm bad with time nowadays. Over a decade for sure. And she still asks me questions about myself and listens and wants to know the answer to what I'm saying. Not to use against me, not to respond, to actually know because she cares about me. Having someone actually care about you means they want to know more about you, how you're feeling, how you're doing.
How have you been?
Your life experiences. And this is a two-way street, but the thing is, this is a great sign that someone cares about you is when they actually care enough to know more. It doesn't go away, it doesn't fade over time, and honestly, I think it's the most obvious way to know if someone actually cares. And if you want to show you care about me, maybe click on one of these other videos here about chronic illness and things like that. Thank you so much for watching, and keep on surviving!